Hello again, Andy with Handy Andy Handyman, Handy Andy on Demand. Welcome back to a inspection report bid over in East Cobb and Marietta. Beautiful house that someone has repainted recently and gotten it ready for sale, and we're out today for the buyer's agent. So if you're familiar with these kinds of things, the buyer had an inspector come through and he found some things that need to be repaired on the house, and so the buyer is looking for us to give them pricing on those items so that they can get with the seller and either make a price adjustment or get some money towards those repairs. You know, almost every house that you go to, if you send an inspector in, they're going to go ahead and find things. And most people are concerned with just living inside. They don't do a lot outside, even though this house was recently repainted. There's some rotted wood around the house, and these are things that the inspector noted. So that's what we're looking at today. Some of this stuff, you're going to see some damage up over here. See where the wood is a little scruffed up under there? That's some squirrels just trying to eat up in there and get themselves a place to get out of the sun. We talk about this all the time on gutters. So she was told they need to replace all the gutters, and they don't here. But where you got these 3 screws through the bottom making that corner, it just needs to be sealed. And this soffit here, this underside piece, see all the wrinkling in there? And it's hard to see it in the fascia, but the fascia is what the gutter sets against. This is rotted in this corner over here. And they put new windows in, and the painters came through and painted some of this stuff up. But if you look real closely in the center right here, the center and the frame, which is this outer piece, if I put my finger right here to go through, and this is the frame inside. So they just need spot repairs, and we do a weather cut on this stuff, and we back prime the wood. So our carpenters will come in and they'll make a cut like this at a 45, and any moisture gets in here will come out to the front, but they'll back prime and seal the replacement pieces, and that's got a lifetime of ownership warranty on it, 3 years fully transferable. On stucco houses, in all houses really, but particular stucco houses, you want to look for the black. So anywhere you see something like this on the corner of this nose, see that black line right there? They never sealed that, these painters. And so water's getting in there and it'll rot the noses. And some of these noses on the windows are rotted and some are not. This window right here had the same issue, I think, on this frame. This left garage window. And then here, the gable over the left corner of the garage, there's a little tiny trim piece up against the shingles. That's called rake molding. And then the fascia board's underneath it. Both of those are rotted right there. So we clean and seal the gutters. Now these gutters have like a leaf filter type product on top of them. And unfortunately, there's no product that is maintenance free. So you gotta have us come through at least twice a year and still clean that stuff. And we prefer once a year to lift the filters off and rinse down the gutters. Because what happens is grit and granule will come off these shingles and they'll leach into the gutter system and they'll clog the system wherever you have like black pipe like this over here. It's going to be a little hard to see it in the video, but this nose up here on this right second story dormer is rotted. Those we can't piece in. We got to replace that whole piece. And again, we're back priming and sealing it. You'll see on some of the windows we get around back, you can squeeze the water out of them because they were never caulked and sealed at the bottoms. I don't have the ability to get up and check some of these upper ones, but when the guys are here, they'll catch those as well if there are any needed repairs there. I think we turned out to be okay here at these front windows. The inspector noted this is a cedar 6x6 post that somebody put out here, which is great. And because the gutters have been clogged, this is why we don't put these corrugated black pipes underground. They're going to clog, and the water backsplash, and it rotted in that standoff right there. So we'll just cut out the rotted section and piece it in. And back prime and seal it. It won't rot out. And again, you know, there's some stucco repairs scattered around the house. There's some spot caulking like this little corner of the garage right here. All of the pieces on the garage frame right here, these 2x8s on both garage doors are rotted. And again, we would just piece those in. These are all standard repairs for us. It comes up on almost every single house, even one freshly painted like this. So we can do the stucco repairs. Some of the stuff is just sealing around the outside spigots like here. If you look closely at the master bedroom window right here, you can see the right corner mold is rotted right there. This window center right here is rotted in the frame. And again, the boys will go over it when they come in a little bit tighter. I think this left corner here, the boys need to check and see there might be some rot in that soffit right there. And if I remember correctly, one of these, yeah, this rake mold and fascia right here on the right side of the master bedroom. Coming down the left side, had a little bit of stucco repair at the corner right here. Typical spot patch, seal it up. So when you're looking at stucco, you're looking for any black on the house. See the crack above it right here, off to the elbow. So when you caulk this, you can clear caulk this stuff up, but you got to give it some dimple, otherwise it looks like a straight line. You'll see where it's been repaired like that in the back. This over here, I would just monitor this. Someone repaired this, didn't do a very good job, and I think it was getting some water behind it is what it looks like. As we come down the side over here, we're at the master bathroom back here, and you'll see back in here on this window, this nose is rotted right here all the way across, so we repair it. And the left brick mold in that corner is rotted as well. When you get to these triple windows, another thing that you want to continue looking at, and really would put it off until you painted the house someday, but if you look over these tops of these windows on the first floor, there's no flashing at all on any of them. And so when that caulk fails, the water's getting in behind it, and that's really what's caused these windows to rot over here. So these triple windows in the dining room, you can literally go up to them, and if you look at like this window right here, this is the center window. Can you see it? I'm literally squeezing the water out of it. Same thing in this corner here. So we'd repair the rotted brick mold and noses here. And again, there's no real reason for alarm. These are really straightforward, simple repairs. Some of this is because of the lack of flashing above them. And if you look closely, you'll see lines through the stucco. That's where painters and people have tried to repair stucco before. And you really want to dimple it, otherwise you wind up with lines. In this corner and a few places around the house, you've got the sprinkler system. And if you're not careful, that sprinkler system is doing what? It's shooting water against the house, which probably helped rot that window and really all three of these. And if you look closely, you'll see the hole through the nose here in that right corner of that window. Same thing with the next window, the left one over there. On this one a little bit here. So we'll take care of all that. This isn't as bad right here, but if it were me, I would extend this downspout out into the yard, run it right between these little plants right here, and use 4-inch pipe. Don't use this corrugated line, because no matter what it is or where it is, it's gonna clog. We just never use corrugated pipe anywhere. Some of the gutters, and I'll list them out, but there's a rotted end cap up here over the right rear corner that the inspector was noting. And you'll see it right here. This end cap right here is rotted. And you see the spacing, the gap against the fascia, that black line behind the back of the gutter and the fascia. We just need to add some gutter screws here and there, same with this gutter right here, and screw it back against. These gutters are spiked, and they may have some hidden hanger screws here and there, but this is just normal maintenance type stuff for us, honestly. The roof appears to be in good shape. There's a few torn shingles and stuff that we'll seal up. One of these windows up here, the seals are blown in it. We make those. We have a factory that makes them for us, and we get them typically in a day. We've had that relationship for over 20 years. Back out here, I do the same thing. You really want to extend these downspouts and get the water away from the house. I would lift this rock right here, trench under it, and get it out into the yard where it can run to the ivy. Same thing with this other corner back here. And you can see when you look at flashing, this window right here, see that metal strip at the top of that window right there? That white piece is brick mold, and just above it is that metal flashing. And that's what's missing on all those windows over there. Here the inspector noted that the soil has eroded around the foundation back here. And part of it is because this gutter is clogged. You see the streaking right here? The whole gutter is clogged. So, and again, partially it's because of this corrugated pipe. If you look at the bottom end, I pulled some debris out of this one, but I'd like to replace that with solid 4-inch pipe, and really, if we could, just extend it towards the ivy a little bit and let that water drain out of the yard. You really have to manage your water. If not, you're gonna have trouble with it. I can't remember if it was this window. One of these windows back here has a rotted nose in it as well. When we're looking to tune up a gutter or a roof system, if you see this vent up here on the roof, you see the gap to the right side, we'd re-nail that and seal it. There's some damaged shingles scattered around the roof, which we would repair as well. This gutter right here and this gutter right here to the right side of the chimney, we'd replace those. They've gotten hit by limbs. And then you see the streaking down the chimney. It needs to have kick-out flashing where that gutter hits the side of the stucco on either side. Anywhere in your home where gutter is hitting siding or stucco or anything, you need to seal it up. This was another one of those noses right here at this window that you could just squeeze the water out of it. Someone replaced these thresholds back here. They should be replaced again with pressure treated. And if you look closely at this doorway, see the line in the frame right there? And you got it on this side too. Both sides, the left and right frames are rotted. These are not big repairs, but this threshold is tilted either flush or actually towards the house. So whenever rain hits there, it's going to be leaching towards the house. We're going to bevel it down and have it tilt so it's headed towards the ground and not towards the house. You see they tried to pass some stucco right there and just need to touch it up. But most of the house is really in good shape as we went around it. And the rest of the repairs are inside. Again, you can see the kickout flashing right here where it's streaking down the side. But the roof appears to be in pretty good shape. And again, you can see these vents up here. These can be painted and sealed and then just reseal, re-nail the bottom edges. See the shadow underneath the plates? That's where water's going to get in and leak. This vent boot up here, someone replaced it at one point in time, and you can see the gas behind it. We don't use those plastic boots because the UV rays tend to get them, although it'll last a while in here because it's shaded. We just like to use the metal boots. That's just what we do. And you got the same issue here on this door. Even though this threshold was replaced, I'd probably do it again and do it right and just tilt it. See how it's tilted towards the door? So any water that lands on there is going to be weeping into the house. The rest of the repairs on this one are inside, and they're all minor. My brother and I run a crew of 30. We've been doing this stuff for 27 years in Metro Atlanta. We do everything. We still hand paint. We do a lot of carpentry work, kitchens and bathrooms, handyman stuff. You name it, we do it. You can reach me in the office at 770-912-2829. Sometimes you can catch me personally at 770-265-9017. I'm Andy. See you at the next house. Bye for now.